All right, ZKG back here with another video. Season 13 is going to start right now. We know it's on a different little schedule, but I did contact the future and I got this crazy Brit to jump on and give his beautiful insights into some defenses for Crucible. JPT's on along with. How's it going?
Going good across the pond and in the future.
All right, we're just gonna skip right to it and knock this out. We know the room rules are pushing out there. You got hunting sense, and that's the one with putting out successful attack, get some bleed, and then that's for strikers, raider, and skirmisher. You get bleed, and then they perform an ISO attack. I'm saying, hey, just go ahead and throw in Odinati with some squatch in there. It's not totally infallible any as much. You can wipe it out, but it still could prove to be an issue. Especially, I've seen it with um, Fortifier Odin, and there seemed to be a little bit of an issue. But is there any recommendations besides them being in there for it?
But it's just a standard annoying team that we've come to love to hate in Crucible. So it's easy, straightforward, um, and yeah, I would say it's something that works in that room. You could, if you want Odin on offense, you could replace him, which I do like doing a lot, with a chargeable character to help prevent the Logan Superior 6 comps that happen, because you've got Sasquatch there as pre-taunt. But apart from that, it's to me, it's a room that works and it's annoying. So have fun.
All right, room two, spec ops. The whole thing about dodging, you get stealth, and then if you got stealth, you get 20% damage. Most of the time, we figure this is just like kind of like a free room, but Spider Society did work well in there at one point until Secret Defenders came out and slapped them in the face. So I put Spider Society in there with Lizard just to go ahead and mess with them a little bit if they bring in Black Cat in them, but it's not going to be. This room is going to lose unless you decide to put something else in it. Is there anything else you might try or?
I've actually gone for Spy Society with Big Time because
Hmm.
he goes invisible, he's fast, and he works with the Spy Society in Spider Verse. So that's what I'm going to give it a try.
All right, room three, momentum. This is a beautiful one where specials cost two more, ultimates cost two less, and then an enemy character dies, ally characters gain ability energy. So I'm going with Orchid Sus because with Orchid, sure, you know you're gonna use Night Stalkers to try to beat it, but Sus, he's just there just to be an annoying little shit. So anything you'd substitute on it or use else in three that they might want to try or
Um, I'm going for a different team. But we did talk about this team that you got in free at length, and we got some ideas with it. So this is stage one of this type of team. So you're gonna have to stick around to maybe find out stage two. But overall, so especially with the room rule, it can mess up a few teams that would generally take this out. So yeah, it's I don't see any real. There's no. I think with this room, this season, Scroll might be more of an offense character, but overall, I don't think there's tons of places really that he can fit in at the moment for defense. So might as well try and mess with someone.
great. All right, four, Resolve. This is a fun one. On death, all allies gain offense up, and then on death, apply trauma to all enemies. So, Astral, Falcon in here. Emma's going to be used somewhere else, usually more on the offense side, so I'll be using her there. But Falcon's a nice little addition there because he can get his ult to snap off. He's just going to start slicing through people, so that should be fun. Astral can be a pain if you don't beat them correctly, because if they live to take a turn, they start to become a real pain. Any suggestions?
Um, so this is another room that I think as the weeks go by, you're gonna see some interesting comps because of the room rule. But the fact that Astral's slow, and if one of their members die, then of course that trauma kicks in. If Doctor Strange is still around, he can of course bring that member back, and of course now they've got offense up, and then when it's their turn, they're gonna do a lot of damage. So it's a good retaliation team, I would say. So
Mhm.
give it a try, see if it works.
Room 5. Basically, it just says mutant, and we already know everybody's going to put extreme in, in that room just because. So,
Just
kind of like
because,
a
yeah.
given. Yeah, it's just a given. But you can put other mutants inside there if you'd like. Emma X Men is one of them. Fat Boy is another one as well, but it's kind of he works better with his astral team. But extreme in here, especially they're getting immunity and revive once right out the gate. It could prove to be a little bit tougher to beat them, but then again, they're probably going to bring in North Star or Black Cat if you're not using them somewhere else. Got any other suggestions for this room? Maybe somebody to sub out with?
I mean, let's face it, extremes still frustrate people. People think, yeah, extreme, no problem, go and fight them, and they lose. So it's one of those teams. It's like might as well use them because it still catches people out. But myself personally, I'm doing a bit of a hybrid. Um, I'm actually going to try Fat Boy and Emma with Extreme. Um, just because resistance for one on new stats is great. So the revive chance of the revive being removed from them will be harder for like someone like Black Cat or North Star. So having Fat Boy and Emma reviving could be a nuisance. So I want to give that a try.
All right, we'll see how it works. And then the last room, charging power. Jesus. On spawn, generate 5 ability energy, and then once you do an ult, you apply ability block to allies. So you get something special, and then you get something taken away. Right here, annihilators and dorm, just because annihilators can be a, they kind of suck you in for you using immortal or don't use cabal. But that dorm there, because of the revives, could be a little tricky if you kill them too fast, and then they come back, and it's like, oh, well, now that's an issue, especially if you're using immortal somewhere else to stop something else, like a sus. So, any any additions, substitutions here?
I think overall, like this team is going to pull something annoying, so it's worth it from that regard. We've talked about this room at length, and it's it's a very interesting room because I think it's more of a room that's going to hurt lots of teams and not. So in terms of what to place in here, it's hard to decide. So something like Dorm Annihilators, I think could work for now. Worth giving a try because Dawn benefits from being ability blocks. If of course he takes his turn, he doesn't die. But then of course, if other people die, then we all know what Annihilator's like. They can be annoying. So especially with Francis passive for one, and everyone else does do good, stuff with their basics and um, say just got stats as well. So having revive and doing all that annoyance alongside, of course, to take these guys out, you need to use abilities. So if you're most likely going to be ulting, and then you're ability blocking yourself, so you're actually hurting yourself um, when coming against this team. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how people try and face them. So I think
Yeah,
it's
this will be
definitely
the big one in 6. This will be
yeah.
an interesting one in 6 for them to try out. So
So yeah, I think it's it's going to be interesting this week for sure. We're going to see lots of different types of rooms. I think there's going to be a lot of fail type of rooms and also a lot of like, oh, yep, why didn't I think of that? So, and it's going to be interesting as well to have the return of 6 rooms from the 3 that we've been used to for the last couple of weeks. So, offense is going to be kind of a bit all over the place.
yeah, I was tired of the 3 rooms.
Oh, yeah, it went on. I like it. I like Scopely try something new, but to me personally, it didn't work. I because for what we got for our roster, it's there was too we had too much, and you couldn't really make much because it was all the same. It ended up being very quickly.
Right. There was too much on offense, too much on defense, and trying to cram it into 3 rooms wasn't. It wasn't. It was fine for the first week where you were trying to get your bearings, but they messed up and they brought it again for a second week, and you're like, I just want to go home.
I've won it. I'm done.
Bring back, yeah, bring back these
Please
six
bring it
rooms
back.
how we normally have them, and we'll be
Yeah.
happy. Which they did. I think the room rules here look really interesting and nice. I don't think it'll go any other way with it. We don't need to go backwards. If they add more rooms, that might be interesting.
More rooms I've always said I would like, especially because say how wide our rosters are now. That we got so much to use and so much to put on defense. Like we need that filling of our roster basically. So we need those rooms that are going to be really powerful, but then also the rooms that are very average. So then, but you still, if there's more rooms to face, it still will be like the average rooms will actually be decent because your roster is being thinned out. You can't plug and play really good characters in certain teams. You've got more actually think about a wider, choice of teams. So
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it. We're going back to the 6 rooms part. Should be an interesting time, especially doing it over the weekend. But whatever, it's fine. It's our normal 3 days, and just be done with it. So, but I got to thank JPT for jumping out for a little bit. Uh, calling in from the future, letting us know what he
yep,
thinks about the rooms, and
no problem.
yep, yep, yep. And we will see you for the next one. Just let us know. Hey, like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff. Put it down in the description. The found there. Click those buttons, and I'll put a description up down. I'll put a link for Discord in the description below. But until next, y'all. Doses.
Later.